Hello, my book-loving friends, and welcome back to Storytime with Mary. This is where we get to read all of our favourite books. And if you're loving reading along with Mary, don't you go forgetting to hit the like button and also subscribe to our videos so that we can read together all the time. Okay, book lovers, I've got a bit of a sticky situation in our book today. Today, we are reading a book called Mr. McGee and the Blackberry Jam. This book is written by Pamela Allen. So if you've got Mr. McGee and the Blackberry Jam at home, grab it now and let's read it together. And while you're grabbing your sweet sticky book, I want to tell you a fun fact about a specific type of jam, marmalade. And as we read this book, you will discover and understand why we are talking about marmalade today. So book lovers, marmalade is a jam usually made out of oranges. Or is it? Book lovers, I have discovered, and I want to share with you, that marmalade didn't actually start out being made out of oranges at all. No, in fact, the very early marmalades were flavoured with rosewater and musk, and they weren't even a jam. They were actually chopped up into squares and put in lovely ornate boxes and given as gifts, a bit like a box of chocolates today. Isn't that cool? So, I wonder how we got from a box of marmalades to a marmalade jam. Well, I'm sure we can go and investigate and find out, can't we, book lovers? Okay, but don't go investigating yet until we have read our book called Mr. McGee and the Blackberry Jam. Let's see what sticky situations that Mr. McGee gets himself into in this book. Underneath this apple tree lives a man called Mr. McGee. This morning, he was feeling grumpy. He'd made the porridge and it was lumpy. He'd put 2 sugars in his tea, then spilt the lot and burnt his knee. Oh, poor Mr. McGee, he's not having a good morning at all, is he? When he went to butter his bread, he found the butter too hard to spread. So it wasn't surprising when he said, "I hate marmalade. I want blackberry jam instead." So off he went with his billy can to find the blackberries for his jam. He walked and walked for quite a while until he came upon a stile. Guess what he could see from there? Blackberries, blackberries everywhere! Shouting, "Look what I found!" He took one leap onto the ground so he could pick those big round berries, black and fat and big as cherries. One by one in the billy can they dropped. He liked the sound of plip, plop, plopped. Now, while he picked so busily, behind him, where he couldn't see, a herd of heifers gathered round to view the stranger they had found. When Mr. McGee discovered them there, he blurted out, "I've washed my hands, I've combed my hair." "Oh, come on, girls, you're not being fair. You know that it is rude to stare." He turned his back and went on picking, and that was when they started licking. All their tongues went in and out, up and down and round about. Mr. McGee began to squirm as though he were a little worm. "Stop it, please, you're tickling me." And then he giggled helplessly. "Ha ha ha, ho ho ho, hee hee hee, ha ha ha, ho ho ho, hee hee hee." Just like a kookaburra song, the laughing noise went on and on. The bull let out a mighty bellow. "Get out of here, you cheeky fellow!" The startled heifers all turned around. The bull was pawing at the ground. Mr. McGee just turned to stone. He couldn't run or move a bone. One moment he was standing there, the next he was tossed into the air. Oh, poor Mr. McGee. As he soared above the crowd, he had time to shout out loud, "I think you lot are rotten." Then both his hands clutched to his bottom. He landed softly in a heap on the back of a woolly sheep. He rode the sheep just like a horse and got home really fast, of course. That night, when he was safe in his bed, he thought about his day, then said, "I can't think what got into my head. It's marmalade I love on bread." Of course it is, Mr. McGee. What a cool and fun and sticky situation that Mr. McGee got himself into. But in the end of the day, it's marmalade he loved. Marmalade. Orange marmalade. Or is it, book lovers? I hope you remember our fun fact today. Okay, book lovers, if you enjoyed our book as much as we did, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our videos so that we can read together again next time. Okay, book lovers, see you again next time. Bye.